Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to another edition of the Flyersguys Top 10. I'm your host, Timmy Flyersguy, and today's episode is going to be a continuation of my top 10 Nickelodeon shows that I've watched over the years. In our last episode, I talked about my top 10. I talked about the top 10 Nickelodeon shows I watched from 1996 to 1998. And in today's episode, I'm going to be counting down the top 10 Nickelodeon shows that I watched from 1999 to 2005. Why 2005? Because right after 2005, I really didn't watch much of Nickelodeon at the time. I watched it when my nephew was in the house. I watched it with him, but that doesn't really count because I didn't really watch it that much. I mean, it was fun watching it with my nephew, but I stopped watching Nickelodeon in 2006 because the network was going through a drastic change. They were taking off a lot of the good shows and the other shows. The remaining were SpongeBob. And at the time, 2005 was my last hurrah into Nickelodeon. So that's why I'm counting down the top 10 Nickelodeon shows I watched from 1999 to 2005. This will officially be the finale. This will be the finale of this countdown. If you don't know what I'm going to do for my next countdown, then I'll figure it out. So without further ado, let's get right back. Let's get into the countdown. As I count down the top 10 Nickelodeon shows I watched from 1999 to 2005. Let's get into the countdown. Okay, starting off the countdown. At number 10, 100 Deeds of Eddie McDowell. Now, if you haven't seen this show before, it stars Seth Green, and he plays a bully that terrorizes a kid, and who terrorizes this one particular kid. In one particular episode, he sets he sets somebody's car on fire. I think a homeless guy was like right nearby him, saw him do it, and turns out this homeless guy was a wizard, and because of Eddie McDowell's bad deeds, he turned Eddie McDowell into a dog. And he would have to live his life as a dog until he would do 100 good deeds to get turned back into a human. The show had a strange premise to it. But I enjoyed the show. I liked watching it. This was a new show that was introduced on the Sneak Block between 1999 and 2000. This show actually spawned 3 seasons. So it's not a bad show. So number 10, 100 Deeds of Eddie McDowell. At number 9, the Baby Dale arc of the Rugrats, which premiered around 1998 into 1999. But I usually didn't watch Rugrats that much around 98. But I started watching more of the 1999 edition of Rugrats in 1999. So this was a really good arc introducing a new character. This 1999 season spawned. The 1999 season came after the 1998. The adult arc came right after the November 1998 Rugrats movie. And during the time, Baby Jill was added as a new character with new adventures and new fun. 1997, 1997, 98, the Rugrats was okay, but it didn't have as much impact as when new characters were added to the show. So, Rugrats season, I would say season 3 would definitely be honest with. Is it number 9? So number 9, Rugrats in 1999. And number 8, The Rose Garcia. This show had like a Wonder Years feel to it. There was a narrator. There were kids that the kids would get into crazy, would get into slice of life situations that had to deal with like trying to fit in school, trying to get through life, being a middle child, and also the first haircut as well. This show had some great episodes. A lot of episodes taught us a lot of great life lessons. And this, I think, came out before the Proud Family. So this show actually paved the way for TV shows that dealt with real life topics. And this was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. Didn't really get many chances to watch it because I was, busy doing other stuff. But when I did watch it, I really enjoyed it. So, at number 8, The Rose Garcia. At number 7, Rugrats, Season 4, from 2000 to 2001. Rugrats Season 4 introduced a new character by the name of Kimmy, who ended up becoming Chucky's stepsister. How did this happen? Let's go back to the second Rugrats movie, Rugrats in Paris, which was a hit in 2000. The story revolves around Chucky's dad going to Paris. Life revolves around Stu Pickles and the family going to Paris, France, because Stu wanted Stu to work on the Reptar robot at Reptar, and also the whole thing about Chaz trying to find a new mom for Chucky. And long story short, Chaz ends up marrying a Japanese woman named Kira, and Kimmy became Chucky's stepsister. Now, Rugrats in 2000, the series had dealt with a lot of changes. The fact that Grandpa Pickles would be moving out and moving into a retirement home, and also a lot of changes that were occurring. Chucky was part of one of the many changes of his dad Chucky, trying to cope with having a new mom and trying to cope with having a stepsister and having all this attention deviated from him into Kimmy. So, but it was a good season for Rugrats, and probably one of the best Rugrats seasons in my opinion. But the first iteration of Rugrats was a great introduction. It was a hit. This next season, in '97, wasn't good. Around '98, '99, it started to get better, and in 2000 got even better. So, at number 7, the Rugrats 2000 season. At number 6, the Amanda Show. Oh my god, this show used to crack me up. Every time I used to watch this, I'd be laughing my ass off. Every time I watched an episode, there's so many funny sketches. It was pretty hard to name every sketch, but this show made me laugh. It was hilarious. It was funny. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this show was funnier than all that. That may sound controversial, but it's true, the show was funny. So many great sketches. It spawned a lot of great TV shows after this. Two of the characters in the show are Great Girl Josh Peck. You also have Amanda Bonds. You also have Amanda Bonds as well. It's a really good show. I really enjoyed this one. I was really entertained by it. So at number 6, the Amanda Show. At number 5, it's Told by Ginger. I had to put this on the countdown because this show had great writing. The episodes dealt with real life situations. And just the writing of the episodes was great. The stories were great. The show was great. And it was different. It wasn't your typical Nickelodeon Nicktoon. This was a Nicktoon for teenagers. I know it centers around a teenage girl, but this show also really helped cope with some of the problems teenagers go through, such as peer pressure, anxiety, sometimes depression, and sometimes just trying to fit in. And trying to just find a way to find the real you and find a way to just be yourself. It's just such a great show. And that's why I'm putting it on such a high tier because it has such a great writing. The episodes were just written so well. So I gotta give props to this show. So number 5 is Told by Junior. And number 4, All Grown Up. All Grown Up was a spin-off series to Rugrats where Tommy Pickles and the gang are navigating through junior high. I think it was junior high. I think first they were in middle school, and then I think in later seasons they were in junior high. So this was such a great show and a great new twist on the show, The Rugrats. This show dealt with a lot, such as peer pressure, being careful not to peer pressure and being careful who you talk to over the internet. This show is a great show. Dealt with a lot of issues that a lot of teenagers dealt with. But this show did have this show still had its comedy to it, and it was still a pretty damn good show. A lot of people didn't like this show, but I really liked this. I started watching this show around 2003 on Nickelodeon, and I sporadically watched it in 2004 and 2005. Believe it or not, this show actually lasted, had a pretty good amount of seasons to it. And number 5, well, growing up. And number 4, Fairly Odd Parents. I watched this show from 2001 to 2000, let's say 2005. This is a great show. I really enjoyed it. It was funny, and it kind of had a twist to it. In a way, Weird Science was like the adult version of Fairly Odd Parents. Because you had these characters granting wishes, and all kinds of crazy stuff would happen. The Fairly Odd Parents is like the kids' version of Weird Science. This show was such a great show, but to tell you the truth, I like Fairly Odd Parents is not a favorite show. Honestly, LOL. I'm not trying to watch Weird Science if I had to pick between the two. Because Weird Science had a very, very beautiful, very sexy woman in the show. Fairly Odd Parents was a great show. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed a couple of the movies that they would show, sporadically on Nickelodeon. And I just really liked Fairly Odd Parents. So number 4, Fairly Odd Parents. Alright. Wait, what number is this? Hold on a second, first. I gotta check something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. My mistake. I told my character was number 5. Or no, it was number 4. Number 3, Fairly Odd Parents. And number 2, my dad is a rock star. And number 2, my dad is a rock star. Wait, here we go. And number 2, my dad's a rock star. I really like this show. This show is a unique Nickelodeon show. It only lasted for like 2 seasons, but I really enjoyed watching this show. This show came out around 2005, and basically that's the only time I really watched this show was. Well, actually, this was between 2005. I watched this show in 2005, and I really liked it. It was unique. The animation it had like an 80s type feel to it, like the same animation as the show Beetlejuice. But I really enjoyed it. So many great episodes. This show is about a kid named Willie, and his dad is a rock star. And it deals with him having mixed feelings about being the son of a rock star. There are some episodes where he's embarrassed to be a son of a rock star. But quickly learns that his dad stands for something different. He stands for sticking up to the authority. Just, thinking outside the box and not being and not conforming to the status quo. This show is really good. I really enjoyed it. I had to put it at number 2 because this show is this is an underrated cartoon show. And there's so much more. So number 2, My Dad the Rockstar. Now we get into our number 1 pick. And number 1, Drake and Josh. I discovered this show back in January of 2004. And I gotta tell you, I really liked this show. It was funny, it was entertaining, Drake Bell was hilarious, Josh was hilarious. Miranda Strasberg was always fun pranks on these guys, and that's what made the show so great. You had the 2 main characters, and you had the one character that was always causing trouble for the 2 brothers. This show is really funny. It's hilarious. And there are so many hilarious episodes of this TV show. I still occasionally watch this show because I really enjoyed it. And this show actually had some great moments. It had some very iconic episodes as well, such as the episode where Josh finally gets fed up with Drake Bell, and he says that he's done with him. That episode brought us every feeling of emotion. And I just remember watching that episode, thinking that this could be the end of the 2 brothers. But luckily that episode had a happy ending of the 2 brothers playing foosball. This show was my favorite show. Despite all the controversies that surround some of these shows, I enjoyed this show because it was a good show. And at the time, I was unaware of what was going on behind the scenes. So, I enjoyed this episode. And I don't regret liking this show. Because what was I supposed to do? I was a teenager. I had no idea what was going on. This show was one of my favorite shows. I remember watching this from 2004 to 2005. And just like that, another countdown comes to an end here on the Flyersguys Top 10. In my next episode, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 favorite childhood cartoon blocks. So stay tuned for the next episode of the Flyersguys Top 10, when I talk about my top 10 favorite childhood cartoon blocks. Guys, I'll see you next time. Have a great day before I go. I'd like to give you a little backstory about Nickelodeon. Around 2006, I officially stopped watching Nickelodeon. And at the same time, I officially stopped watching Cartoon Network. Because during that time, I was getting older. I was growing up. And I was interested in other stuff in my life. And also the fact that Nickelodeon, the Cartoon Network, just didn't have the same feel it had in the 90s and in the 2000s. So I finally stopped watching Nickelodeon around 2006. But I did start watching shows like iCarly, Victorious and Sam and Jack on TNet around 2016 and 2017. But other than that, Nickelodeon has not had the same feel. I do occasionally revisit shows like Salute Your Shorts, Hey Arnold, Progress Doug, occasionally on Paramount Plus. But that's about it. I'm happy that I'm able to watch your shows. And they bring back a lot of great memories. Well, guys, I'll see you next time in the next episode of the Flyersguys Top 10. Enjoy your week, everyone. Enjoy your week.